Hello everyone. Once again I am back with one more summary of Thomas Hardy's novel, that is The Woodlanders. The Woodlanders, once again I would like to tell you, is a very important novel of Thomas Hardy, like The Mayor of Casterbridge, Far from the Madding Crowd, Tess of Uberville, and so on and so forth. This very particular novel, that is The Woodlanders, also becomes very important from competition point of view. So now let's look at the title of the novel and some more important facts related to this novel, and after that we'll go through the summary of the novel to understand the plot of the novel and all the characters of the novel, particularly all the important characters of this novel. So let's begin. The woodland, a jungle land is called woodland. And woodlanders, those who live in the jungles, generally are called woodlanders. So the Woodlanders, 1887. This novel was published in book form in the year 1887, but first serialized in Macmillan magazine in between 1886 to 1887. Remember, 1886 is the year his magnum opus, The Mayor of Casterbridge, came into print. But this novel, remember, this novel was serialized in between 1886 to 1887 and published in 3 volumes in the year 1887 as the part of this series of Wessex novels. Remember that this is a novel. Now let's look at the summary of this novel. The novel is set in a small woodland village, Little Hintlock. Remember this. The setting of the novel is a woodland village called Little Hintlock. Means all around this little Hintlock, this small village, there is jungle, there is forest, and it wouldn't be wrong to say that this small village is set or located right in the center of the jungle, woodland area. Woodland. It is about honest effort of Giles Winterbourne. He is the central just character of this novel, and it wouldn't be wrong to call him the protagonist of the novel or the hero of the novel. His name is Giles Winterbourne, and the novel is all about his honest and sincere effort to win the heart of his sweetheart. That is, to marry his childhood sweetheart, that is Grace Malbury. Grace Malbury is the central woman character of this novel. She is the heroine of this novel, and the novel is all about the sincere and honest effort of Giles Winterbourne to win just Grace Malbury's heart and to win her hand in marriage. But you see, the path of the lovers never easy. So same is the situation here. Though engaged for some time, so though they are engaged, they are betrothed to each other for some time for marriage. But the father of this young beautiful girl, who is very much dedicated or very much good father, who takes every pain to give good and better and the best kind of education to his only dear and adored daughter, is somewhat against the marriage. Why? Because he does not find this honest young man, Giles Winterbourne, fit or perfect match for his well-educated daughter. See what happens. Though engaged for some time, her dad has made financial sacrifices to give good education to his only dear daughter. So doesn't consider Giles fit for her. So see, though the father, since the father of this young girl has made a lot of financial sacrifices to provide quality of education to his only dear daughter, it's all because of that some way, or by the some way thinks that Giles Winterbourne is not the perfect or the right match for his dear daughter. In the meantime, what happens? In the meantime, when a well-born and handsome doctor, Edred Fitzpiers, takes an interest in her, in the meantime, there is a doctor in the village, this little Hintlock, and a time comes that this young, handsome, just a well-born and well-mannered doctor starts taking interest in this beautiful girl, just Melbury. Now her father of just Grace Melbury, starts making her feel or making her realize that Giles Winterbourne is not right man for her, and starts encouraging her to take interest in this young, handsome, well-mannered doctor. And she takes interest, she falls in love. But one morning, you can say that one morning, just Grace Melbury sees a woman of the same village coming out of the cottage or the hut of the doctor. And when she sees this, she has misgivings, doubts. Now she doubts, she thinks that there is something fishy. She thinks that it is possible that the doctor has a kind of affair with this young woman from her village. See what happens. Takes interest in her. Father does everything possible to make her forget. This I told you, just Giles. Grace has misgivings that Edred is sleeping with a woman. I told you that one day she sees a young woman coming out of his cottage of the doctor, and the name of the woman is Suk Damson. Suk Damson is the name of this woman who is seen coming out of the cottage of the doctor in the morning. So she inquires, she puts this thing in front of the doctor that I saw a young woman, Suk Damson, coming out of your cottage or hut in the morning. Then he explains that since Damson had some tooth related issue, so she was there in his hut in the morning, particularly for get her molar extracted, to get a certain tooth of her just a mouth to be pulled out. So he says that no, I have no affair with that very particular lady at all, a woman at all. She was in my hut only for getting a treatment for her, just for her toothache, and by this way he clears away all the doubt and confusion of this young beautiful girl, Grace Malbury. But the reality is absolutely different. He is really sleeping with this woman. He is really having an affair with this woman. So he lies. He lies to Grace Malbury that Damson is only his patient, nothing more than that. And in this way, they get engaged and marry, and after the honeymoon, they get settled in a certain part of the big house of Grace Malbury. See what happens further. Duke Damson, but the doctor tells her that she had toothache and he gave her treatment by extracting her molar. Molar, that tooth that we use for chewing. They marry and after that take up residence in an unused wing of Malbury's house. The doctor begins begins two times I have written. This is begins an affair with a rich widow, Mrs. Charmant. So see, soon after the marriage and after the honeymoon, when they get settled in a certain part of the big house of Malbury, just this doctor, who is a hypocrite, who is not honest at all to his own spouse, starts one more affair, starts another affair with a rich widow of the village, that is Mrs. Charmant. See, with Mrs. Charmant, she realizes her true love for with Charmant, yes, she that dad and daughter discover, and soon, very soon, first of all Grace Malbury doubts and she discovers, and later on her father also discovers this fact that really the doctor is having an affair with that rich widow. He once even assaults him, hits him, but he does not stop. And the difference and the distance starts coming in their relation. And very soon what happens, they lose their interest in each other, and one day she gets this news that the doctor has moved away, has gone away with Mrs. Charmant, without informing, without telling her. See what happens. Now he is exposed. So now his true character is exposed to his spouse and his father-in-law. The doctor deserts her, and at last the doctor leaves Grace Malbury and goes somewhere with Mrs. Charmant. She realizes her true love for Giles, but no way to divorce. Now, when the doctor goes away with Mrs. Sharma, this woman realizes that really, if there was any man who loved her truly and she loved him truly, he was none other than Giles Winterbourne. But now she has no way out. Why? Because the setting of the novel is Victorian era. In Victorian era, getting a divorce was not easy at all. There was no law particularly for getting the divorce, and that thing here Thomas Hardy has also raised this issue. Thomas Hardy has here raised through this very particular novel. So though she is not happy at all in the marriage. Why? Because husband is not honest and faithful to her at all. Even then she has no way to get a divorce. Women had no way to get a divorce. Particularly men were entitled to get divorce, women no. But very soon she gets to know through a clerk, through a person who has a good knowledge about the law, that now the law is changed and possible that she can get divorced. But very soon, to her surprise and shock, she finds that no, she cannot get divorced from her husband on the ground that her husband is not faithful to her. This is not a solid ground for her to get divorced from her own husband. So she realizes that if there was any man, she loved him truly, and that person loved her truly, that is Giles Winterbourne, but no way to get divorced and to get settled with him. So see, but no way to divorce. She is told by a clerk, I told you that the law is changed and divorce possible, but adultery not sufficient for separation. And I told you, but adultery means just doing something wrong or having some extramarital affair outside marriage, or having just extramarital affair means having affair outside marriage, that is called adultery, is not sufficient. She gets to know to get divorced from her own husband. Not sufficient for separation. Fitzpiers returns to her after a quarrel, and here in the meantime Fitzpiers has had a bad quarrel with Mrs. Shermott, and he leaves her and returns to his own wife with this hope that he will feel sorry for that, he will regret for that, and after that she will accept him and things will get resolved. But it does not happen. See, when he gets back to her, when Fitzpiers returns to Grace Malbury, she runs to Giles for help. So when Grace's husband returns to her, she moves away. She runs to Giles Winterbourne for help. But there what happens? He is recovering from a fatal disease. There when she goes to Giles Winterbourne, she gets to know that he suffered from some fatal deadly disease, and now he is somehow slowly but surely recovering from that disease. So she starts staying with him temporarily. One stormy night, he has to sleep outside. Why? Because he cannot sleep, being very good and very good to just Grace Malbury. He allows her to sleep inside his hut, and he himself sleeps outside his hut. A particular stormy night. Since he is recovering, again his condition becomes worsened because of sleeping outside in a stormy night, and the next day he dies. Now, Grace Melbury has nowhere to go except to her faithless husband, thinking that maybe it is possible that he may become good and things may change. So one day this is what happened. He allows her to sleep in his hut during a storm and sleeps outside. As a result, dies. I told you. She gives a chance to her repentant doctor husband, Sook's hubby, that is husband, Mr. Damson husband, Timothy Tangs, tries to crush the doctor's leg. Since the husband of Justice Sook, Damson, is revengeful, now he wants to revenge. Now he wants to avenge. Why? Because he knows that the doctor has had an affair with his wife, so he tries to crush his leg, but somehow he fails and somehow hurts Grace Melbury. See, Marty South, another just a young woman, a true girl to Giles, is left alone to mourn his death, for she has truly loved him from start. And here we find in the end of the novel that if there is anyone who is left to mourn, who has true feelings to mourn the death of Giles Winterbourne, there is a woman, there is a girl named Marty South, who has loved this man right from the beginning. But when she got to know this thing that Giles Winterbourne was in love, he had strong soft feelings for Grace Melbury, and Melbury also had the same, she withdrew. But now she is the only one character in the novel who is left to mourn the death of this Giles Winterbourne. That's it, my dear learners, in this video. I hope this explanation of mine will help you understand the summary of this novel. If you get some complications, do let me know and I'll try my best to resolve it. Thank you, and for more, keep watching my next videos. And I would like to make a personal appeal once again that if my videos help you a little, please do like it, subscribe my channel, and ask your friends and family members to do the same. Thank you once again.